Machine Gun Kelly, Doja Cat, Future. These are some of the biggest and most influential names in music, but they are also some of the most influential names that director AJ Favicchio has worked with since his first episode aired. He is out in Los Angeles making major noise. In this show, you will learn how to attract and work with celebrity clientele like that, major brands like Samsung, what he did to grow during COVID, what his next project is, and so much more. Welcome back to That Entrepreneur Show. I am your host, Vincent A. Lancy. You can learn more about me at Vincent A. Lancy on all social media, YouTube, or my website, vincentalancy.com. Whether you're looking to start your business from the ground up or scale, this is the show for you. Each week since December 2019, I have interviewed the founder of a company or brand to share what worked well for them, what they needed to improve on, and all of their learning lessons along the way. You never know which motivational journey will inspire you most. Today is a very special episode because it is a part of our Rewind the Clock series. On these shows, I bring back entrepreneurs who are making more headlines, giving you that firsthand experience. I mentioned today's director. He is half of the Myles and AJ directing duo in Los Angeles, California. He's also worked with Billie Eilish, Jaden Smith. He's done a lot, and I'm proud to call him a friend. He's moved across country to put himself in a position to succeed, a different market than here in Tampa, even though he still does have work here in Tampa, which is amazing. We get to see him from time to time. Let me now bring him back, AJ Favicchio. AJ, great to have you back.
Benny, thanks for having me, man.
Would you mind introducing yourself to everyone who does not know you and missed your first show?
Yeah, my name's AJ Favicchio, as Vin said in that amazing introduction. I really appreciate that, Vin. I originate from Rhode Island, and I went to college down in Tampa, Florida. Since then, I have moved to LA and started directing music videos and commercials with a good friend and business partner, Miles Cable. We met actually during our time in Tampa, Florida, making videos and YouTube clips and different projects along the way. I started relatively small, just kind of, starting with a camera at UT and starting a business by my senior year in Tampa. I started my own business, and the biggest moment for me in my early entrepreneurial career was definitely deciding to do business as well as film, and that really created the intersection. So that was how I got started. So thanks for having me, Ben.
Of course. So you always knew when you were studying that you wanted to open your own business. You didn't want to go to the corporate route and work for somebody else. That's why you combined the major of business and photo.
I knew that I wanted to have a support underneath film. I knew like having that support was going to put me in a position to succeed. I don't think I was really conscious of if I wanted to if I wanted to work for a company or not. It was just, it was so green at the time where I was just like trying to put one foot in front of the other. And one of my film professors recommended I speak with Dr. Rebecca White in the entrepreneurship program at University of Tampa. And so I ended up taking on entrepreneurship as a second major because it has similar vibes. It has, and every filmmaker is in itself, they're an entrepreneur because they're bootstrapping, they're grinding. Everyone out here that I know that I work with has to make it happen every day. They have to find their work. They have to make it happen. So that was kind of the idea there. And from that moment, video was my job. Everyone was trying to find their own business and discover what they wanted to do and maybe what product to sell. And while I was still thinking of that, I was making videos for everybody, and that became my intersection.
I love it. Love the passion that you have in all of your work. Everybody can see that right through the latest Samsung commercial with Future. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about all of your new work since you joined us all the way back on season 1. And I think that was during the Gasparilla Overload, right in the beginning of the podcast. Catch everybody up, AJ.
I can't remember if that was 21 Pilots, if we had done 21 Pilots
You
yet.
just might around there. It was January, I guess, 2020.
Yeah. So I think it was 2020, then we hadn't done it because 21 Pilots was the beginning of this year, I believe. It had to have been. So yeah, 2020 was obviously like similar for everybody. It was relatively slow and kind of, it had its moments. 2021, we turned the corner, and I ended up speaking with one of our executive producers, and we ended up getting a new representation for music videos, and that really set it off. We landed a job with 21 Pilots, which was a huge thing. We actually shot that in Tampa, and we shot that in collaboration with Diamond View Studios on their View volume technology, which is a big. It's pretty technical and insane. If you've ever seen The Mandalorian, it's how they shot The Mandalorian, and you can check out a behind the scenes video on how they did that on YouTube, and it's pretty remarkable technology. So we had the ability and we had the connection with the team at Diamond View Studios from our time in Tampa, and we're able to shoot it on that platform, and that actually ended up getting us a VMA nomination, which was pretty awesome to hear when that came out. That was super under our radar. That was awesome. And then after that one, I think this was like April 2021, we got a call about a Doja Cat video. And once we heard that name, that was really a huge deal because 21 Pilots is huge, and they're huge, and they've been around for a minute. But Doja Cat is like, number one on the charts and one of the top 10 artists of the last year. So when we heard that name, we were like, all right, we really want this. So after we landed that job, that was really like a transitional moment for us where we're like, okay, cool. This is a new level for us. The budgets are a new level. The type of artists we're working with is a new level. So that was really awesome. And then a couple months later, like we got a call from our EP regarding this agency that wanted to talk to us about a Samsung Christmas campaign. This is like, September, October, which is late for a Christmas campaign. And we're like, yeah, we're ready to talk, of course. Like, and they want, can you talk today? I'm like, yeah, we can talk today. Like, of course. Like, I guess they had it in that we're a huge deal, and like, yeah, for sure. So we hopped on the call. I had a great call with the creative director over at the ad agency, and it was interesting from the beginning because a lot of these jobs don't usually happen that fast, and there's usually like a whole process. In order to get on that phone call, you have to get pitched on that job like a lot. So this kind of like seemed a little bit backwards, like they wanted us. So it ended up working out, and Future ended up being the artist, and we shot 4 Samsung commercials in 4 days, and it was our biggest job by like, I don't know, like times 10. And it was pretty. It's been a great couple months after.
Well, now that you've done this huge job, anything is easy now. The world is yours. Nothing can knock you off your feet. You've seen it all. You've gone through female artists, male artists, top of the game. Congratulations again on all of your recent success, AJ. I would like to touch on how COVID did affect your business. I know you mentioned it was a little slow. Was there any real stories or learning lessons you could take away from COVID?
Yeah, I think mental health was one, and I know you're a huge proponent of that, Ben. And I took a lot of that, and that was a huge deal. Living alone was certainly tough. So that, like, honestly, for me, that was my experience. Was mentally just kind of like being cooped up by myself was challenging. So making sure I checked in with myself and practiced some mindfulness to like make sure that I was feeling well. And then in terms of entrepreneurial endeavors, it was just a matter of trying to like fill my time. And since then I started creating and designing treatments for other directors. A treatment is just like a pitch deck, like you would for any presentation, but it's just like a little different. It has images and it has like text, and you read it like a script as opposed to a presentation. So that's kind of the side work that I've been doing, which has given me so much fulfillment in my work, also in terms of my days, because when we don't have like a job shooting, or if I'm not writing on my own jobs, work, I'm kind of just, relatively static. So that was such a huge thing because it got me to still work in the industry that I was working in, as well as as well as just, give me some purpose and some things to do, and while also talking with other directors. So
I could definitely, resonate with being alone all day during COVID. I had been working alone like you for most of our careers, but when you're forced inside and there's not much going on, it could definitely take a toll, especially when things aren't going so beautifully in business, the downs and you're alone. It can get challenging. Resonate with you there. I'd now like to shift to something more positive than COVID. It's your best piece of advice you were ever given, AJ. Who is it from, and why is it still sticking with you all the way till today?
I think the best piece of advice that I think I've been given, I think revolves around it's just how you walk through the fire. It's really just a matter of how you handle yourself in the times of challenge and controversy, and rather than challenge in times of peace. It's how you carry yourself, and we only have ourselves. You're in your mind 24 hours a day, and that can be really challenging. So it's getting out of your comfort zone and pushing yourself to achieve, as opposed to constantly looking for the easy way to do things.
I love it. I'm a big proponent of doing things naturally, organically with my business. It's a little slower, but doing things the right way, building the foundation like you have. And it's great to see everything just take off after all those years of hard work, starting in Tampa, making that decision to move across country, but you haven't looked back. I would love to ask you, what's one thing that helps you, AJ, whether it's a book, app, workshop, tool? What's something you can recommend to our community of entrepreneurs to help them improve their life, their journey?
Well, this year I've really taken to breath work and cold therapy, and this goes in hand with mental health as well. And I think if it starts there, everything starts there. It all trickles down from that level. So I started doing a lot of breath work and started doing a lot of journaling as well. Journaling I used to do actually much more, but journaling I still try to handle. But I actually started doing cold therapy, which has really helped me improve my mental health. And it's Wim Hof is a proponent of it, and it's his method of breath work. And it starts with cold showers. It's taking some cold showers in the morning and going from hot water to cold water for like 15, 20, 30 seconds to a minute. And it's really given me a lot of clarity in stressful situations and work situations, and helped me deal with challenges. So anyone looking for some guidance and some hobby to do, check out Wim Hof.
I am a fan of breath work as well on my walks, specifically when I take my walks on breaks, sometimes 4 breaths in, 4 out, change it up the game. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for highlighting mental health and entrepreneurship. I always get asked sometimes, because I have the 2 shows, are you in mental health or in entrepreneurship? But I describe it, there is no entrepreneurship without mental health. If I can't find a way to keep myself in a position to grind every single day that I'm working, it doesn't exist. So thank you again for highlighting that. Yeah, as you know, it's normally time for the Spotlight Story. On new episodes, my guest and I dissect another entrepreneur's journey to provide you, the listeners, with some additional insight. But on Rewind the Clock episodes, I would love to give you the opportunity to shout out and bring light to another entrepreneur's endeavors, someone else who deserves some love. Who are you showing love to?
So I want to shout out my buddy Ryan Robidoux, who is an amazing individual. We used to live together when I was in Tampa, Florida. He's a good buddy of mine. And he started his company like right after we were living together. And I think we had those conversations about starting our own business, and he was a tech recruiter, and he saw an opportunity, and he took it. He saw that he was working for somebody else, making them all this cash, and he started doing it for himself. And his company name is Envision Resource Group, and he's based in Tampa, Florida. And he just had his first child, his first baby girl, with his wife Naveen, and they're a beautiful couple and family now. So I really respect the work that he's done and how far he's come along with his company, and I love him as a brother. So he's a great person and a great boss and a great owner.
Love to shout out everyone who has met Roby probably feels the same way. He's a great guy. So a special shout out to Ryan Robidoux. AJ, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to hop back on, inspire our audience with unlimited growth. If you work hard, sometimes you have to move, sometimes you have to make sacrifices in entrepreneurship, but if you do them, it might just pay off like it did for AJ. Can you please tell everybody where they can find you, find your work, everything, AJ?
Yeah. Our website is milesandaj.com, MilesAndAJ.com. You can find our Instagrams from there, Myles and AJ. And our production company is 626 Productions, all spelt out. And you can find our work as well as the other directors on our roster in a great production company with our executive producers.
Thank you for sharing that. Everyone, be sure to go check out his content right away. He's got a lot of great stuff out there. And we are at That Entrepreneur Show on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. But on Twitter, because of the character limit, we are at Podcasts by Lancey. I am at Vincent A. Lancey for all social media, YouTube, and my website is vincentalancey.com. My latest book is Mental Health Week, the go-to book for elementary school students to level up their mental health in a fun way. It's time to end with a quote, and this one is from Arthur Ashe. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode of That Entrepreneur Show. AJ, talk to you soon.
Vinny, thanks for having me.